Hello students, welcome to Programming in C++ video series by VPMP Polytechnic Gandhinagar. Myself Neha Patel and I am here today with Unit 4 Inheritance and topic Concepts of Inheritance in C++. The objective of today's session is to discuss about the different concepts of inheritance. Also, we will discuss defining derived classes and how to make a private member inherited, as well as we will discuss about the effects of visibility modes in inheritance. Let's see the first one, concepts of inheritance. Students, you all know that in first unit of programming in C++, we discussed about the basic concepts of C++. In that we have seen inheritance. Yes, it is one of the basic concept of programming in C++. Inheritance is the way by which a new class can acquire the properties of an existing class. So, we can say it is the process by which object of one class derived the properties of object of another class. Yes, we can say that object of one class derive the properties of object of another class. That means here in this diagram we can see that class A is a parent class, that means it's an existing class, and we are making a new class, that is class B, that is also known as a child class, and as we are seeing, it is inheriting. Class B inherits the properties of class A. That means all the data members as well as member functions of class A now will be available in class B. That means class B object can access the members of the class A. So this is called the inheritance. The mechanism of deriving a new class from an old class is known as a inheritance. Okay. One more thing about the parent class and child class is, in inheritance, the old class is referred as a base class or parent class, and new class is called derived class or subclass. It is also known as a child class, as we can see from this figure. So this is the basic concept of inheritance in C++. Now let's see the example by which we can make our understanding clear about the inheritance. See friends, here we have given one class, that is class vehicle, which is having 3 member functions. Now it shows 3 downward arrows toward the 3 different classes: class bus, class car and class truck. Now below those class names, we can see the same list of the member functions as they are in a class vehicle. So it shows that whatever the functions are declared within class vehicle are also available in the subclasses, that is class bus, class car and class truck. So this is how we can understand the concept of inheritance. Now let's see our another objective for today's session, that is defining derived classes. Yes, as we discussed that we can make a new class from the existing class, right? So that particular new class is known as a derived class, right? So how to write the definition of derived class, that we will see. Okay. So a derived class can be defined by specifying its relationship with the base class. Yes, we have to define a relationship with base class for the derived class. For example, here we have given a syntax: class, then derived class name, then colon, After that, we have to write visibility mode and then base class name, right? So we can say class is a keyword that we are using to declare any class. Derived class name is a new class which we are going to derive from the existing class. So here we will write the name of a class which is being declared newly. Then colon. After that, visibility mode. Here we can write private, public or protected. We can define a new class by private, public or protected visibility mode of the base class. So last one is the base class name or the name of a class from which we are deriving a new class. And in the body section of this derived class, we can have the definitions of data members as well as member functions which are only related to the derived class. That means only those members will be declared here which are new in the new class. Okay. So this is all about how to define a derived class. For example, here we have taken class B colon public A. That means here B is a derived class and it is being derived publicly from class A. So we can say A is a base class or parent class, right? And we are deriving members of class A to class B in public manner. Now, the effect of public or private or protected visibility mode we will see in our next slide. See, here we have declared members of class B. That means only those members will be declared here which are the member of class B only. Now, see the next example, that is class B colon private A. That means here visibility mode is written private. One more thing, students, you need to take care about is if we are not specifying any visibility mode like public, private or protected, then by default the derivation of new class will become private derivation from the old class. Okay, so this is all about the defining new class from the existing class. Now let's discuss about the visibility modes available in C++ classes. Yes friends, we can see from this diagram that we can have three different kind of visibility modes: public, private and protected, right? That we already learned in our previous video of unit 2. Whenever we want any data member or member function to be accessible by the object of a class, we are declaring those members in public section of the class. Now, if we do not want that our data members or member functions directly be accessed by the object of that class, then we make them private, right? These two visibility modes we already used in our C++ programs in our previous videos. Then this one is the another visibility mode that is known as a protected. This particular visibility mode is used while we are dealing with the inheritance in classes. That means if we want our data to be protected, to be secured, then and also we want to derive them in our new class. At that time, those kind of members are declared in a protected section of a class. Now let's see the effect of visibility modes in C++ classes. See, in this table, we have listed the base class member access specifiers vertically in first column, and the type of inheritance, that is we are deriving a class publicly or in protected way or in private way in first row. Now we will see, whenever we have our members defined publicly in our base class, and if we are trying to derive a new class from the base class publicly, then public members of the class will remain public in a new class. That means those members which are declared in public section of a base class will remain in public section of a derived class. And the members which are declared in protected section of a base class will remain in a protected section of a new class. And see friends, in inheritance, the private members of a base class are not accessible in a derived class. So they will remain hidden for the new class. Now let's see the another column. If we derive our new class with using protected visibility mode from the base class, then a public members of a base class will go to the protected section of a derived class, as well as the protected members of a base class will remain in protected section of a derived class. Again, private data members or member functions are not accessible in a derived class. So here they will remain hidden. Now let's see the private visibility mode. That means we are deriving a new class from the base class using private visibility mode. So what happens? The public members of base class will be considered as a private member if we derive a new class privately from the old class. Again, protected members will also become private member if we derive a new class privately. That means if we are trying to deriving a new class privately from the existing class, then all the members from the public as well as protected section will become private member of that derived class. And again, we can see that private members of the base class are never accessible in derived class in any way. So they will remain hidden. So this is the effect of visibility modes, private, public and protected in the base class. Okay, now let's see the same thing again with the different picture. See, here we have base class and derived class, and we are deriving a derived class with private visibility mode, right? So what happens? See, private members are not going anywhere. There is no arrow between private members of base class and any of the section of the derived class. So we can see from this diagram that private members are not inherited in a derived class. Only the protected and public members can be derived. Now here we are deriving the new class privately from the base class. So protected members will become private members as well as public members will become private member in a derived class. So this is how we can have the members of protected and public section of base class into the private section of the derived class. Now let's see another one, that is protected visibility mode. Now in protected visibility mode also we can see that private members are not going anywhere in any section of the derived class, and protected members of the base class are going in the protected section of the derived class, and public members of the base class becomes protected member of the derived class. So friends, from these two figures, now you can understand that the public members have the lowest security, protected members are much more secure, and private members are the most secure members of the class. Right? That we can see from here. Okay. Now let's see the last one, that is public visibility mode. See, in that, again, private members are not deriving in a derived class, and as we are deriving a new class publicly, that means all the protected members of the base class will remain in the protected section of derived class, and public members will remain in the public section of the derived class. So, protected will always remain protected, or there can be private, but they can never be public members. And public members can remain public, or they can be protected or private. And the last one, private members will never be inherited in any type of inheritance with any kind of visibility mode. So this is all about the concept of inheritance, how to derive a new class from the existing class, and effect of the visibility modes in inheritance. So friends, I hope you all find this video interesting for these for clearing this concept, and I will surely get back soon with another video of the inheritance with types of inheritance in C++. Okay, thank you.